Hey crafty friends, it's Kathy here, and today I'm playing along with the Scrap-Lift Crafternoon crew, and it is Sunday, of course, and we are lifting the amazing Brianna Spores, known as Mummy RN on Instagram or Love My Life on Paper at YouTube. Today, we were challenged to use that layout, and I must admit I had planned to use arrows right from the start, but I couldn't find the piece of paper I wanted, so I had to go with plan B, and I actually like how it's turned out. Now, it looks very different to Brianna's when it's done, but the main concept is there with the panel of vertical items added to the layout. So I actually have arrows on my background, on my backdrop here. So that's a little bit of a nod to the arrows that Brianna uses on hers. I am putting in these two tags that Brianna has on hers as well, and they are going to sit to the left of my photo. Now, the photo is of my daughter and her husband, and we were at Barrel at the floral show, and I love this photo. It was he is just smitten with her, and it shows in this photo. So I took this photo, and I really do love how it turned out, and it is just a great captured in time memory for both of them. So I have matted it with a bit of a note paper pad on the back in the pink, just to give it the pink cherry blossoms there that you can see in the tree. Then I am just tucking in a little tag at the top here. I am trying to keep the same sort of elements and shapes that Brianna has on hers in the respect to the two photo frame. She had a photo and a frame, and I'm going to have a photo and a bit of a frame as well. And instead of using arrows, I found this piece of paper that had all these different little irregular shapes and colors and patterns on them, and I'm going to build those around the layout like the arrows were, so that there is that movement and flow around the layout as well. So these are simple story die cuts that I'm also putting in to the layout for the florals and the tags, and I'm just building up those fussy cut pieces that I took out of the sheet. I do believe, let me see if I've got it right here in front of me. It's called Dream On, and it is a pink fresh piece of paper, and it has all these little, as I said, irregular shaped shapes in florals and geometrics and stars and so forth. So I've just cut those around, and instead of the arrows, they're going onto the layout. And I really do like how this comes together in the end. Now, I have a chipboard piece here, which you saw me colour at the very beginning, and it says Her Prince Charming, and I just thought that that was perfect for this layout. Now, I did use weathered wood and spun sugar as my Distress Oxide sprays to colour my chipboard, so that was an easy way of colouring them up today. And I also coloured up the frame, which is going to go over the top of that pink ruled paper there that you see sitting to the right of the photo. So here is the frame that I'm talking about. It too is a chipboard piece, and they're all from Scrapbook Fantasies. I just like their quality of chipboard, and I'm just putting that there as that feature to the right. And once again, I have a Simple Stories floral that I'm just adding there, and I'm building up the layout pretty much where Brianna has her arrows. There is one of these irregular shaped pieces added as well. So I just like how this has gone together quite simply but effectively. Now, as I said, I really did have in mind using arrows, but the piece of paper that I know I have, you get that big stash of paper, and you've seen it recently, but for love or money, I could not find it today, so I had to go with plan B, and I am actually pleased that I did go with plan B. I really do like the final product. What about you? Do you have those big stashes of paper where you've got a piece of paper, and no matter how much you look and you cannot find it, and then when you're not looking for it, there it is again? Yep, that happens to me all the time. So I'm just tucking in little pieces around the layout here and there. Put that little heart paper clip up there. That's a Vicky Bouton one, which I've tucked in at the top of that photo. But I'm just layering in these pieces now so that they're all in place, so that I can continue finishing off the layout. And I just have copied Brianna in the respect that the left-hand side of the page is clear of any extra embellishments. The whole vertical down through the photo and frame is the feature, with the little pop-outs to the right here and there. So I like how it's all come together here. Now I'm popping in this floral up the top, just as Brianna had a floral on hers at the top there. And then I have this little saying that is on a banner, and it says, "Together we make a family." And that's so true. And one day they may be blessed, hopefully, with a little one. Haven't been successful so far, unfortunately. A couple of losses, but hopefully in the future, if it's meant to happen, they will have their own little family. And we have to wait until the great plan is worked out for them. So I'm just tucking down a little bit of string there, by putting a little dab of glue to make sure that it's holding in place and doesn't move. I did tie on a little key that says "I love you," just as a little bit of an extra dangle to that tag. And then I have these 3 tiny little hearts that were on the page that I'm cutting out from, and I just wanted to put those where Brianna had her little hexagons. So I'm trying to keep pretty close to her design in the placement of elements, and I just like how these little tiny hearts that were on the same paper just fit perfectly into those spaces and copy those hexagon placements. Now I'm just going to add in some little enamel dots or enamel shapes. I've got a few left over from a Chamel pack that are just about near the end of the pack, but they've lost their stickiness. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue down to make sure that they stay in place. And it's not as easy as you think when you've already got them out of the package. So they're now in place. I have the 3 that I've just put there. I am going to now go around with dots and put those onto places. So that was like, I've turned the squares on side to make a little diamond shape. And then I'm just putting in some dots strategically around the layout to pick up the colors and highlight different pieces in the layout. And I love how this has come together. Those 3 dots there, as you can see, have now set up a visual triangle. It is a subconscious thing that your eye will automatically roam to. I'm now going to edge my paper because you know I can't do a plain edge. I just need a little bit extra. So I've chosen the blue, and it is a glitter marker, and I am just edging the edges of my page just so that they have that polished, finished, don't just run off the page. And then I'm going to use a black fine line marker, and I'm going to go around each of those little shapes to make them pop up off that background. And it really does make the difference when you do this. It takes a little bit of time and a little bit of patience, but you can now see them standing up off that background quite readily. And I actually do like that has happened. It looks quite effective. It allows for clear definition, and it's just that little trick that I like to do to make my when I've got a very busy background, to make the pieces on top pop out. So I've just done this pretty much around all of them, and you can see how much it makes them stand out against that background. And it's a subtle little thing, but makes a really, really big impact on the overall layout. So I am so excited to go and check out what the rest of the crew are doing today. There will be multiple different interpretations of this layout, and I can tell you they will be amazing. You do need to go and check out what everybody else is doing. You will be blown away with how they take the same layout and they all look so different depending on who is creating, because your own style comes out when you do a scrap lift. And as we're doing a scrap lift, we're being inspired by our layouts. We're not doing a scrap copy. So remember that there are no rules to it other than you take what inspires you and you create your own layout. So here's mine today. I really do hope that I've done something to earn a thumbs up from you. YouTube likes the interaction. Please leave me a comment down below and I'll get to you as soon as possible. I will have the full playlist linked down below, all the details of all the people playing and Brianna as well. Stay creative, friends. Here's my next layout for you, and I'll see you over there real soon.